Welcome to a deep dive into one of the most pressing national security issues of our time. In an era where every click, purchase, and location ping is recorded, your personal data has become a high-stakes commodity. But the Department of Justice is sounding a massive alarm. We are no longer just talking about annoying targeted ads. We are talking about the weaponization of your identity by foreign adversaries. The DOJ has recently intensified its crackdown on data brokers, highlighting a chilling reality. Your most private information is being used to manipulate your vote and undermine the very fabric of our democracy. Today, we examine whether your data is a private asset or a weapon aimed at the heart of the election.
How does your data end up in the hands of a foreign power? It starts with the massive, largely unregulated data brokerage industry. These companies collect thousands of data points on every American citizen, from your financial health and medical history to your precise GPS movements. This isn't just metadata, it's a digital blueprint of your life. The DOJ warns that this information is frequently sold through a complex web of intermediaries, eventually reaching countries of concern. When these datasets are aggregated, they allow foreign intelligence services to identify specific individuals for blackmail or to map out the psychological triggers of entire voting blocks.
The Department of Justice isn't just worried about any buyer. They are specifically targeting countries of concern like Russia, China, and Iran. These nations have demonstrated a sophisticated ability to use bulk personal data for strategic gain. By purchasing large sets of American data, they can refine their disinformation campaigns to be terrifyingly effective. They don't need to hack a voting machine if they can hack the mind of the voter. By knowing exactly what scares you or what makes you angry, they can feed you tailored content designed to discourage you from voting or to radicalize your political stance. In response to these threats, President Biden issued Executive Order 14117, a landmark directive aimed at preventing the large-scale transfer of Americans' personal data to adversarial nations. This is the legal foundation for the DOJ's current offensive. The order focuses on bulk data, massive troves of information that, when processed by AI, can reveal sensitive patterns. The goal is to shut down the legal loopholes that have allowed data brokers to profit from selling national security vulnerabilities. This isn't just about privacy. It's about closing a backdoor that foreign spies have used for over a decade.
Why does a foreign government care about your shopping habits? Because your consumer behavior is a proxy for your political leanings. Through micro-targeting, adversaries can divide the American public into tiny segments. They can then send different, often contradictory, messages to these groups to stoke internal conflict. One group might see an AI-generated ad about one issue, while another group sees the polar opposite. This creates a fragmented reality where two neighbors can live in entirely different information ecosystems, making healthy democratic debate almost impossible. Your data is the fuel for this division.
The danger of data weaponization is magnified by the rise of generative AI. With the data stolen or bought from brokers, bad actors can create hyper-realistic deepfakes of political figures saying things they never said. But the real precision comes from knowing exactly who to show these deepfakes to. If a data profile suggests a voter is undecided and concerned about a specific policy, a targeted deepfake can be the final straw that influences their vote. The DOJ's actions aim to starve these AI models of the high-quality American data they need to be truly deceptive.
The scale of the problem is driven by a massive economic engine. The data brokerage market is estimated to be worth over $250 billion globally. For years, these companies have operated with minimal oversight in the United States, unlike in the European Union. This lack of regulation has created a wild west of personal information. The DOJ's recent moves are an attempt to bring some law and order to this marketplace. However, the industry's lobbyists argue that overregulation could stifle innovation. The tension between economic profit and national security has never been higher.
When we look globally, the United States is an outlier in its approach to data privacy. While the EU has the GDPR, providing citizens with broad rights over their data, the US relies on a patchwork of state laws, like California's CCPA. This gap is what foreign adversaries exploit. They find the weakest link in the American data chain to gain access to the whole. The DOJ's intervention represents a shift toward a more centralized, national security-focused approach to data. It signals that the federal government no longer views data privacy as just a consumer rights issue, but as a defense priority. As we move closer to the next major election cycle, the battle for your data will only intensify. The Department of Justice's actions are a critical first step, but they are not a silver bullet. True security requires a combination of robust federal legislation, corporate responsibility, and an informed public. By understanding how your data can be used against you, you become less susceptible to manipulation. Stay vigilant, support privacy-first policies, and remember, in the digital age, protecting your data is a vital act of patriotism. Your vote belongs to you. Let's keep it that way.